This is WellSpan Health BrainBusters, and here's today's community wellness question from WellSpan Health. 20 years ago, no state had an obesity rate above 15%. How many states today have obesity rates over 25%? We'll have the answer to that question and many more as we play WellSpan Health BrainBusters.
I am Matthew Nawn, captain of the Hanover High School BrainBusters team, and we are
HPSD AWSOME. Awesome.
We're the Trinity Shamrocks, and we've got aces up our sleeves.
From Studio A at WGAL 8, it's WellSpan Health BrainBusters. Now here's your host, Rich Rosen.
Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to our show. You know, this season is sure shaping up to be a momentous tournament with some very strong competitors. Like today, Hanover and Trinity. Did you see them on their last appearances? They both came through with some very strong performances, and today they face each other. Who will return for the quarterfinals? Well, we're going to find out in less than 30 minutes, beginning now with today's opening round. We have 10-point questions and one big brain buster brought to you by Turkey Hill. Good luck to all 8 of you. Let's get to work now with this 10-point question. The United States bought Louisiana from France. What country sold us Alaska? Luke.
Russia.
Russia's correct for 10 points. Gary, Indiana, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, Chicago, Illinois. On which of the Great Lakes? Luke again.
Michigan.
Lake Michigan, they're all located. You are correct. His poems like Tam O'Shanter and The Cotter Saturday Night made him Scotland's first major poet. Who was he? Luke?
Robert Burns.
He's the one. Good for you. It's the number of frames per second that motion picture film moves to make motion pictures appear natural. It's also the number worn by Kobe Bryant. Connor. 24. It's 24 frames per second. Good for you. He commanded U.S. troops in Korea until he was removed from command. Luke. MacArthur until he was removed from command by President Truman in 1951. Good anticipation, and it certainly worked in your favor. It was originally sworn to Apollo. Today it's sworn to whatever the speaker holds sacred. What oath pledges loyalty to the profession of medicine? Luke?
Hippocratic Oath.
You are correct once again. This is not the end. This is not even the beginning of the end, but it is the end of the beginning. Who spoke these words in November 1942? Well, Aaron.
Churchill?
It was he, yes, the Prime Minister of Britain. Good for you. Balboa is at the Pacific end, Cologne at the Caribbean. What is this 10-mile wide strip of land? Matthew?
Panama?
You are correct. Good for you. And that gets Hanover on the board. Measured in kilogram meters per second squared. Michael?
Newton.
No, sorry. It is the product of mass times acceleration, Hanover. What is this concept in physics? Matthew?
Force.
Force is correct. And now it's time for the big brain buster brought to you by Turkey Hill. For 10 points and a gift certificate for Turkey Hill ice cream for everyone on the team. Begun in 1160, completed 100 years later. Devastated by a 12... Connor?
Notre Dame.
Notre Dame de Paris, devastated by a 12-hour fire on April 15, 2019. Congratulations, Trinity. The scapula is a flat triangular bone connected to your clavicle. What is it more commonly called? Connor?
Shoulder blade.
It is called the shoulder blade, yes. Miss Havisham lives at Satis House and befriends a boy named Pip. Owen.
Great Expectations.
In the novel Great Expectations, also a fantastic movie. It starts with Ash Wednesday and ends on Holy Saturday. Connor.
Lent.
Lent is the 40-day Christian period of penitence. When you have eliminated the impossible, whatever remains, however improbable, must be the truth. Aaron.
Occam's Razor.
Oh, no, sorry. I'm going to complete the question for Hanover. Who explains his method of detection in The Sign of the Four? Matthew.
Sherlock Holmes.
He's the one, yes, that guess worked in your favor. It seems like mathematics, but it's not. Well, not really. Here's the problem. Arrange 4 nines so they equal 100. I love this question. It's 99 and 9 over 9, because 9 over 9 equals 1. Something there is that doesn't love a wall. Whose poem Mending Wall begins with this memorable line? Well, back to American literature, and you're going to study Robert Frost, Herbert Hoover, Alf Landon, Wendell Willkie, and Thomas Dewey all lost to him. Aaron.
FDR.
And they all lost to FDR, yes. UPS is known as Big Brown. What tech company is known in the industry as Big Blue? Matthew?
Samsung?
No, sorry. Connor?
Facebook?
Oh, no, you're both incorrect. It's International Business Machines Corporation, or IBM. Well, that sound takes us to the end of the round. Boy, 40 to 110, a very strong lead for Trinity, but we have a lot more questions and answers coming up. But first, let's hear the answer to today's community wellness question from WellSpan Health.
41 states currently have obesity rates over 25%. This community wellness question is brought to you by WellSpan Health. WellSpan Health BrainBusters will return after this. The final 4 teams in the WellSpan Health BrainBuster tournament will win cash grants from WellSpan Health. The 3rd and 4th place teams will receive $1,000 each. The 2nd place team will receive $3,000. And the WellSpan Health BrainBuster champions will receive $5,000 in grant money. And now, here's Rich with our coaches and alternates.
Well, the gentleman next to me is Mr. Kevin Weiberg. He's the physics teacher at Hanover. He's also the coach, of course, of the Hanover team. But he has a double role this season, and it's a unique role because his son is on the Spring Grove team, and they're also doing well, and they're progressing in this tournament. So it's very possible that Hanover could meet Spring Grove. How do you feel about watching your son play? Because I've seen you in the audience here, and then coaching your team.
It's a lot of pressure both ways. I feel for them both. They're both doing a great job. If they end up meeting in the finals, it'll be interesting. That I'm hoping it happens. That would be great to see.
It would be really fun. Then really see how you have a double role.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I know your team has a slow start right now, but it's early on in the game. We have a lot more questions and answers coming up. But first, let's meet our 3 alternates. These are all freshmen. Annie Smith, nice to have you here. What do you do for fun outside of school?
I enjoy spending time with my friends and my cats, as well as watching television.
And of course WGAL,
Yes,
of course. And Eli Swope, and you're a freshman. What do you do for fun outside of school?
I throw on the Hanover track team, and I also canter for the Sacred Heart Basilica.
Oh, fantastic. Good for you. And then Jared Solizano is a freshman also. Now, what do you do outside of school?
I practice and play for tennis, and sometimes I play the guitar.
Oh, excellent. Well, thanks all for being here. And I know we're going to see you next season. And now let's go over to Trinity, and we meet Mr. Peter Joyce. This guy is a busy guy. Academic geometry, honors trigonometry, pre-calc, and programming. Very busy man. But outside of school, you must have some fun. What do you do outside of school? I know all your students are eager to hear this, Mr. Joyce.
Well, when I'm not grading their tests, I try to get some physical activity in. I do running and golf when the weather's nice.
Excellent.
I love to sit down and do a lot of puzzles, crossword puzzles, but most importantly, catch up with my wife because we're both very busy. So that's the important thing.
It is very important, building that relationship continuing. Thank you so much for being here. And now, of course, we have an alternate, and this is Connor Pushard, and you're a sophomore. Great to have you here. And you've had a lot of classes, but there's one class that maybe stands out that has impacted you and perhaps your career choice?
Yes, my freshman history class with Miss Shoemaker, she gave us a lot of work. So it taught me how to time manage and focus.
And learn how to write, of course, and
yes.
learn how to read from text as well. Well, thanks for being here. Well, we have a lot more game coming up, beginning now with today's one-on-one rapid fire round, where we get to meet our players and find out what's happening in their very busy lives. So first from Hanover, it's a pleasure to welcome back Owen Smith. And Owen, you are a senior going off to college, and you mentioned that you may be interested in studying art history. Do we see museum curator in your future?
Yeah, I would really like to work at a museum. I'm definitely more fond of modern and contemporary art, so a dream job, I guess you could say, is working at a modern art museum.
Excellent. Well, I hope that comes to fruition, as I'm sure it will. And Luke Capper is a senior from Trinity also, and it's nice to have you back as well. And you want to study cybersecurity. I mean, that is a growing field. Yeah. Where do you think you see as that field is going from here?
I think it's only going to get bigger, and that, like you said, I won't have trouble finding a job, which is part of the reason I picked it. But actually, to help me prepare for college, I'm taking a computer programming course with my coach, our coach, Mr. Joyce. So.
Oh, excellent. Oh, good for you. Okay, well, Luke and Owen, let's put you two one-on-one. Good luck to both of you. Disk space in personal computers used to be measured in kilobytes and megabytes, then gigabytes. What prefix represents 1 trillion bytes? Luke.
Terabyte?
Terabytes is absolutely correct. On February 14th, 2019, William Barr became Attorney General. Who resigned at Trump's directive? Luke again.
Jeff Sessions?
Jeff Sessions did indeed, for another 10 points. And finally, it was the first to ratify the Constitution in December. Luke.
Delaware?
Delaware in 1787, the small state is called the first state. You dominated all three of those questions, giving you a strong lead of 40 to 140. And now let's meet our two captains. So first, from Hanover, it's a pleasure to welcome Matthew Naun. And great to have you here. And we always ask a student, besides your phone, what don't you leave home without? And there's a religious artifact that means a lot to you that you never leave home without.
Yes, I always wear my brown scapular to Our Lady of Mount Carmel.
Is that something you wear all the time?
Yes.
And you've had that since you've been a child?
Since I wouldn't say child, but since a very young age.
Wow, excellent. I'm so glad that something so powerful means something to you like that. Connor Coyle is a senior from Trinity. And we love music. All of us love music. But I feel that you have a unique taste in music.
Yes, I do. I really like to listen to classical music in my free time. Some of my favorite composers are Bach, Rachmaninoff, Ravel, Beethoven, pretty much anything I can get my hands on.
Fantastic. And when you do, and you start hearing, when you start embracing classical music, you start appreciating it more and more. And certainly musical theory can help you appreciate it more. Connor and Matthew, hope you're going to appreciate these three questions as we put you two one-on-one. Charlotte is a city in North Carolina. What U.S. possession has its capital at Charlotte, Amali? Matthew.
American Samoa?
Nope, sorry, incorrect. Great guess, though. Connor.
Guam.
No, you're both incorrect. It's the U.S. Virgin Islands. It's particularly in St. Thomas. His colorful Favre glass for windows, vases, and lampshades is worth a small fortune today. There's a famous jewelry store on Fifth Avenue. Matthew.
Tiffany.
Tiffany in New York City, of course, that bears the name. The turn-of-the-century artisan and glassmaker was, as you said, Tiffany. And finally, it's time now for today's Millersville Epic Question of the Week.
Only one professional sport uses an object whose volume is given by the formula pi r squared h. What is the sport or the object?
And that's Matthew.
Hockey.
Hockey, of course, and the object is a hockey puck. 50 to 140. Let's now meet our third players. So first from Hanover, it's a pleasure to welcome back Nick Shaw, and you are a junior. You've taken a lot of classes, but there's one class, an AP class, no surprise, with a teacher that really has impacted you and made you perhaps a better student.
Yes, my AP US history class with Miss Caution has really helped me to become a better writer, learn more about history, and just develop my research skills.
There's no question that's a very important class to take. Good for you. And Aaron Cartwright is a junior from Trinity, and it's great to have you here. And we all love movies, but there's one movie that you can say line by line?
Yes, I know Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, word for word, moment for moment. And this came really, it became really useful when me, Luke, and Michael were in Atlanta, and we were in a position where we could see the movie on a television screen, but we couldn't hear it. So people were probably just walking by me, just hearing me just say it out loud. Probably thought I was insane.
I'll remember that when I don't have volume and I'm watching that movie. Aaron and Nick, put your hands on those singly buttons and let's see how well you do with these three questions. When artists run out of models, they sometimes paint themselves. This Spanish surrealist soft self-portrait includes his famous flowing handlebar mustache. Nick.
Dali.
Dali, Salvador Dali is a correct answer. In 1861, some Southerners opposed their state's secession from the Union. In 1863, they were admitted as an independent state. Aaron.
West Virginia.
West Virginia is the state. And finally, an object in motion tends to stay in motion, an object at rest tends to stay at rest. What is Newton's first law of motion commonly called? Oh, we stumped you on the law of inertia. 70 to 150. Hanover is creeping up slowly, but they're doing it, and now we're going to meet our third players in today's match. So first, Anna Chen. Anna Chen is a sophomore from Hanover, and it's great to welcome you back. And when I looked at your biographical sketch, I was so surprised at something. What is the greatest gift you've ever received? And you said a skateboard. I don't picture you on a skateboard.
Yeah, it was a gift from my father, and that was like years ago, but sometimes I get on it once in a while.
Works on balance,
But,
no
yeah.
question about it. I hope you're very careful and maybe wear a helmet. Michael Stager is a senior from Trinity. It's great to have you back. And you're an entrepreneur of sorts. You have started an online business? Tell us about this.
Recently I had a large collection of just Yu-Gi-Oh trading cards, and I decided I was going to start selling them to make money, and I found that some cards I have about $80 plus in value. It's like one card, that's it. And it's taught me a lot about just economics and business as well. So.
Yeah, and people want to buy, no question. So Michael and Anna, hopefully you're going to buy these 3 questions as we put you 2 one-on-one. Snails, clams, and squid look very different, but they are all members of this animal phylum. What kind of creatures, Michael?
Mollusks?
They are, just in time, they are mollusks, yes. In 1940, he published his Harvard thesis, Why England Slept. In 1957, he won the Pulitzer Prize for Profiles in Courage. Who was this prominent figure and future president? Anna?
Truman.
Pardon me?
Truman.
Not he, no, sorry. Michael? Michael?
Kennedy.
Kennedy. John F. Kennedy is the right answer. And finally, it was by far the most popular song of the summer of 2019. It was #1 on the Billboard Hot 100 for 19 weeks in a row. What is this ditty by Lil Nas X featuring Anna?
Old Town Road.
Old Town Road, and of course, Billy Ray Cyrus. 80 to 170. We're now going to pick up the pace and play today's 60-second team lightning round. Matthew, your team is behind by 90 points, so you have your work cut out for you. But you can do it with one of these quizzes. Check, please. She's a lady. Turn it off.
Check. Let's go check, please.
Check, please. Before you give your answer, check to be sure that it's right, because each answer includes check. So for 10 points each, identify the following. Matthew, I take your answers to team's answer. Owen, Nick, and Anna are ready to help you along. 60 seconds on the clock, which will begin after I finish reading the first question. Good luck, and here we go. It's a regular physical examination. Heart, lungs, eyes, ears, the works.
Physical check?
Yes, that's correct. In hockey, you can do this with your body or your
Cross-check.
stick.
Cross-check?
Cross-check or check, yes. The British call this board game drafts.
Checkers?
Yes, that's correct. This word processing feature helps you when you type words incorrectly.
Spell check?
Correct. This system prevents one branch of government from becoming too powerful.
Checks and balances.
Correct. This word often ends a game of chess.
Checkmate?
Correct. He wrote The Seagull in the Cherry Orchard.
Pass.
Check off. An enumeration of items to remember or tasks to be done.
Checklist?
Correct. It can describe a colorful tablecloth or a shady pass.
Checkered?
Correct. These yellow taxis began in Chicago in the early 1900s. Checker cabs. It's the meaning of carte blanche, total freedom to do what you want.
Pass.
Blank check. The board has 21 positions and each player has 10 marbles.
Pass.
Chinese checkers, created in 1993. This country's capital is Prague.
Czechoslovakia or Czech Republic?
Czech Republic. I'm sorry, I have to take your first answer. Czech Republic. This singer's name was sort of a twist on Fats Domino, and that's Chubby Checker. Boy, a little stumbling, 8 correct, so 80 points came your way. Connor, is this a break for you? Well, we're going to find out with the 2 remaining quizzes. She's a lady, and turn it off.
We'll take turn it off.
Turn it off. Unless you turn off your sound, you'll hear off often in this quiz, in every answer, in fact. So we hope that's not a turn off. So for 10 points each, let's kick things off with these. Connor, I take your answers. The team's answer. Luke, Aaron, Michael, ready to help you along. 60 seconds on the clock, which will begin after I finish reading the first question. Good luck. Here we go. In football, it's the opposite of defense.
Offense.
Correct. What a golfer does to start each hole, usually with a driver or wood.
Tee off.
That's correct. A police officer or fireman when they're not on the job.
Off duty.
Correct. From October to March for a baseball player. From December to
Off season.
Off season, yes. This dynasty ruled Russia from 1613 to 1917. Romanov, yes. It's what a rocket achieved when it leaves the launching tower.
Liftoff.
Liftoff, yes. A dune buggy, for example, designed for where the highway ends.
Off-road.
Off-road, yes. When no candidate in an election gets a majority, you hold one of these.
Runoff.
Runoff is correct. Private practice to Grey's Anatomy, or Angel to Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Spinoff.
Spinoff is correct. He wrote The Seagull in the Cherry Orchard.
Chekhov.
Chekhov, yes. Your progeny, your descendants, your children.
Offspring.
Offspring, yes. What you have when you take a pair of scissors to get to a perfectly good pair of pants?
Pass. Just
Pass.
Cut-offs, to mock, to treat with derision, to scorn.
Scoff.
Scoff, yes. Someone who's always doing something ostentatious.
Show off.
Show off.
Show off is correct. Right on that. 13 correct. 130 points came your way. Look at those scores, 160 to 300. Well, Hanover has their work cut out for them, beginning with today's bonus BrainBuster. Today's category is going to be TV networks. So our teams will wager from 0 to 25 points based on their knowledge of TV networks. But first, here's an important message from our sponsor, WellSpan Health.
Caring for people and education have always been a part of my life as a professional. WellSpan Health offers a lot of opportunities for nurses to advance. I have taken advantage of the tuition reimbursement program. I was able to achieve my master's in nursing education. One of the satisfying aspects of my job is that I help patients with the ability to return to normalcy. I feel that WellSpan Health really offers the programs that provide what is necessary for patients to return to their everyday lives. I would highly recommend WellSpan Health because WellSpan allows everyone to have a voice to help our patients, our community, and our peers.
The internet home of WellSpan Health BrainBusters includes our tournament bracket and the opportunity to email host Rich Rosen if you have any comments or questions. You can keep up to date at WGAL.com/brain-busters.
Well, we're glad you're back, and as you can see, Hanover has their work cut out for them, but they can do it now with today's bonus BrainBuster. During our break, our teams wager from 0 to 25 points based on their knowledge of TV networks. We're going to head into the News 8 newsroom with Ron Martin. He has today's question. Ron.
Thanks, Rich. And now here's your bonus BrainBuster question. It started March 19th, 1970 with a speech from Tennessee Representative Al Gore. What network provides live gavel-to-gavel coverage of the U.S. Congress? Once again, it started March 19th, 1970 with a speech from Tennessee Representative Al Gore. What network provides live gavel-to-gavel coverage of the U.S. Congress? Good luck with your answer, and now back to Studio A. Rich?
Thanks, Ron. It looks like both teams were eager to write your answer down. Matthew, you had your answer, and you are correct. C-SPAN, 25-point wager, good for you. I know you can't not watch that program. And you also said 25-point wager for you too. Boy, you both took a chance on that. Let's see those scores, 195 to 325. Well, it all comes down now to today's final frenzy. This time we have 20-point questions. It is still anybody's game. Let's see what happens now as we put both teams to work with this 20-point question. In April 2019, scientists released the first images of an event horizon. Matthew?
Dark hole or black hole?
I'm sorry, I have to take your first answer.
Black hole.
Black hole is the correct answer. 3 initials complete the 1964 Democratic Party presidential campaign slogan. It was all the way with Matthew.
OBJ.
You are correct. This 1957 novel is based on the travels of Jack Kerouac and his friends across the U.S. What is this beat classic and defining work of counterculture generations? Michael.
Ivanhoe.
No, not that. Sorry. We stumped you on the road is the correct answer. It bordered the Red Sea until the independence of Eritrea in 1993. Luke.
Ethiopia.
Ethiopia is correct. He cried out twice, a cry that was no more than a breath. The horror, the horror. Who speaks these last words in Joseph Conrad's Heart of Darkness? Owen.
Oh, never. Marlon Brando. That's
no. Sorry, Trinity. Oh, I know you've read it, and it's Mr. Kurtz. On July 26, 1948, he issued Executive Order 9981. Connor. Truman did that abolish racial segregation in the U.S. military. It's the branch of mathematics that studies random phenomena, including risk assessment, trading on commodity markets, and gambling. What is it called, Matthew?
Statistics.
Not statistics, no, sorry. Luke.
Probability.
It's probability. A double circle of menhirs, a circle of uprights and lintels, and an avenue leading to the Thames River. What is this megalithic monument? Look again.
Stonehenge.
It is, yes. Someone must have been telling lies about Joseph K., for without having done anything wrong, he was arrested one morning. What novel by Franz Kafka? Connor?
The Trial.
The Trial is by Franz Kafka. This river served as one of the northern boundaries of the Roman Empire for much of its history. What river runs from Switzerland to the North Sea? Luke?
The Rhine.
It is the Rhine. Professional hockey has the Stanley Cup. Pro football has the Lombardi Trophy. In what card game does the world champion win the Bermuda Bowl? Matthew.
Poker?
Not poker, no, sorry. Michael.
Blackjack.
No, the greatest card game ever, bridge. Lead is a heavy metal, but the heaviest metal is also the heaviest naturally occurring element. What radioactive element becomes lead when it decays? Matthew?
Uranium?
Uranium, yes. His major piano works include mazurkas, waltzes, nocturnes, polonaises, etudes comiques.
Chopin.
Chopin is the 19th century Polish composer. That now takes us to the end of the round and to the end of the game. A stellar performance by Trinity, which will allow them to come back for the quarterfinals, but we hope to see you in just a short moment or two.
Scorekeeping for BrainBusters is provided by Jennings College Consulting, where students discover the right college fit for the future. WellSpan Health BrainBusters will return after this. Welcome back to WellSpan Health BrainBusters on WGAL, the longest-running high school quiz show in the Susquehanna Valley. Once again, here's your host, Rich Rosen.
What a game. Congratulations, Trinity. Boy, they came out of the gate really strong, and they kept it going. We say goodbye to Hanover. We so much enjoyed your appearance here this time. We know we're going to see you next season, so you make sure Mr. Wyrick gets the team together for next season. Coming up is Cumberland Valley versus Harrisburg Academy. We are expecting a very strong performance by both teams, and we hope to have the pleasure of your company as well. I'm Rich Rosen. Thanks for being here. We'll see you next time. So long for now. Thank you so much.